Hi, we're in Intro to Psych, and we're learning about Erikson's 8 stages of development today.
Okay. So do you want to be first? Tell us what did you do the extra hour yesterday?
I slept.
You slept 1 extra hour. Feel good, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The reason I ask this because in America they have we call time 7. Yeah. And yesterday we have time back, so everybody 1 extra hour. So Madison, what did you do for that 1 extra hour?
I slept as well.
Yeah, feel so good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about you? Let me see. Where are you?
I also slept, took a nice nap.
Oh, that's the best gift
Yes.
from the nature, right? What did you do, Abdullah, for yesterday 1 extra hour?
I sit and smoke a hookah.
Huh?
Smoke a hookah.
Oh, okay. Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Why you go there? Is it not your seat?
I don't wait.
It's fine. You can sit wherever.
I don't know.
Okay.
Back,
Terry, what did you do yesterday 1 extra hour?
I went to sleep.
Asleep? Okay. How about you? What did you do yesterday for that 1 extra hour?
I slept.
So that nobody used that to do the assignment, huh? What did you do?
I don't know.
You just wake up. You know, I use that 1 extra hour to grading your discussion. Sounds a good idea, huh? Oh, you move, huh? Okay, so I on the front stage, right? Okay. And actually, when I read your discussion, that is this. Everybody remember, right? And you guys are so good because you give me a very good story about which part you care and which part you like to you believe is important, right? Everybody still remember? So let's just go over the whole development. But you guys already have good examples. I think that's very good. Okay, so how many of you over there believe trust and mistrust is the most important? Everybody remember? Remember what you say? Right? What's trust, mistrust? What's trust, mistrust? That is a very beginning stage, right? And then many of you also say, it's very interesting. Even last chapter we just say, we don't even remember that time. But how can we build trust and mistrust in that time? Yes?
Because you can't really do anything for yourself yet, and
Oh.
you're relying on everyone to take care of you.
Yeah, say loud so your voice can go to my phone.
You can't do everything for yourself yet, so other people have to take care of you.
That's why it's so critical, right? Because you really cannot do anything. You need to rely on other people for you, even you're surviving. If people don't give you food, you cannot get a food, right? Of course, you can fall asleep yourself, but food is so important. So trust, mistrust is really, mainly is really depend on your surviving needs, right? And so if people don't able to survive, then or they are struggle with surviving, they remember their hunger, they remember their cold, they are so cold, then they will remember you cannot trust people. You cannot trust people. So actually, another theory based on this, they say during that time, we have those feelings is you are okay, I'm not okay. Because for you, I'm nothing. Okay, is anybody still in that have that feeling you need to rely on other people? No, right? And that's why you feel so good. You feel free, right? When you are hungry, you can just walk out, right? You even right now, a lot of you already able, you can drive, and you can fly, right? So thanks that stage, okay? Thanks that stage, but then, believe it or not, if you still feel not able to trust people, okay, or trust relationship, maybe you have to go back to that time to think about what maybe happened, and then rebuild the trust. We are not, okay, very important, remember, we are not the victim of the past. Right? We are not the victim of the past. Whatever happened in the past, don't just say, okay, I'm taking whatever. No. You can create your life from now to the future. Okay? So please remember that. You are not the victim of the past. You are the writer, you are the director, you are the actor for your now and future. Okay, but this theory gives you an idea when and why and how it happened. Okay, and this mainly is what kind of development this one? Remember, Piaget called cognitive development. Kohlberg called moral development. Okay, what's this development? What's the name of this? Done by Erikson, right? Done by Erikson. Many of you also write about Erikson. Okay, and then actually, do you know Erikson? Give you a very interesting story. Maybe a lot of you already know. He didn't really have a formal degree. Anybody remember? Okay, he went to art school, but then he dropped out, and he really liked a lot of stuff, but he didn't commit to get a degree. So then when he reached Anna Freud, okay, remember Freud, we are going to talk about Freud, but we talk about in the first chapter, and Anna is Freud's youngest daughter, and then she looked at him and said, I think you'll be very good in our field. So she had him enroll, to study with Anna in the institution. It's not university or college, it's psychoanalysis institution. So actually, Erikson got a diploma from her. And you know what? He can teach in many prestigious universities. Okay? Because he knows the theory of Freud. Okay? And so he learned from that. That's why you can smell this to, Freud theory. We are going to talk about Freud theory. Next chapter, talk about psychosocial theory. And he changed to psychosocial. Okay? And then this stage also, you can also think about what Piaget say. Piaget said this called sensory motor, remember? And sensory-motor, that means you learn from your mouth. Okay? So this trust and mistrust are also a lot of things to do with your mouth. Did that make sense? Right? And so that is the first stage. Okay, so after this stage, the next stage, does anybody have any idea? What's after the first year life? What do we do in second year? What do parents do for second year? When you raise a kid, what did you do when they around 2 to 3 as a toddler? What's your major task for your little kid? Potty training. Potty training, right? During that time, pretty much baby wear diaper, right? But then they cannot wear diaper forever. They need to learn how to do potty by themselves independently without diaper. Okay, so that stage is very important. However, it's not everybody have the same speed of their development. Okay, so you do the potty training. Sometimes you may not success. You won't be success. You won't able to, you want to feel go to restroom and you can go, but then sometimes it's not success. Okay, and then you may remember people around you say, "Shame on you! Shame on you! They're laughing at you." and then make kids feel so shame. However, if they can be, control where, okay, then the parents so proud, say, oh my gosh, my kids don't need a diaper anymore. Wow, everybody like, even talk to grandma, you know what? And then kids remember. Okay, so in this stage, if they can learn independently and doing the things, party training is not one thing, or they can play the toy independently, face the challenge, they can do that. They get a lot of praise. And they will say, oh my gosh, I'm so good. Even they're not able to say it, but they remember the feeling. Okay? And then if they keep getting laughing, I think sometimes as a youngest child, anybody you are youngest at home? Okay, did you feel like you have that kind of experience? Can you say a little bit? Yeah, because your sibling, they are older than you. Looks like they know everything, but you still not, right? And do you feel shame?
I feel like I compare my brothers, my older brothers, I'm more independent, maybe because of that.
Wow. So actually you are more independent.
Like I would say I'm more independent than them.
Wow. Because you want to be stronger, right? Right, you say right now, right? But how about in that time?
Probably the same.
Okay, wow. Your parents must be so proud of you, right? Are they brothers, right? You're a girl, right? Usually girls more independent. Okay, well, so this stage, okay, so the first stage is mistrust, okay? The second stage is autonomy versus shame. Okay, now remember after that you go where? Around 3 years old, where did you go? You start to go to preschool, right? And usually the requirement for go to preschool, do you know what? It have to be party trained. Have to be party trained. That's why especially young couple, young parents, they are very worried. If they don't able to train the baby good, party train, they cannot send them to preschool. That's why it's such big things, around toddler stage, okay? And then once you are good, now you come to preschool. What did you do in preschool? Is anybody sit like this in preschool? Did you sit like this and take a note? No, what did you do? What did you do mostly in preschool? Play, and play. Right? Play and play and play. And so when you play, they have a corner, put different kind of stuff there, and then you'll see kids, sometimes they have free time, right? And you may push the chair and say, choo, 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 train, right? Or you may take this and pretend you are watching something, right? And you just do so many, and not even that. At home, the same thing. The kids in this stage is very creative because they like to have fun. And they don't know enough for the real stuff, so they don't even care about what's the real stuff. They just want to make a thing fun. Well, so then this time, Hattie just said, in the first stage, you cannot do anything. You rely on people. How about this stage?
Then you can just kind of like do your own thing because you can take
You start to able to do things. You're able to walk. You can get food yourself. You can talk. So actually you feel, I'm good. However, you start to get trouble, right? You start to see parents say, no, don't touch this. This is not for this. Stop. So you start to feel You are not okay. I'm okay. You are not okay. Okay? So then they start to develop this. If they create the stuff and the parents say, wow, what? For example, if you push the chair, you say, choo, 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 train. And then your parents or your family say, where you want to go? They say, I'm going to Cleveland. And they will say, can we go with you? And they have fun with you. Then what happened? The kids will develop what kind of psychosocial ability? Initiative. They will feel so free to create stuff because they get this praise, good job, right? Or if they play the paper tower and they look at there something and the parent come and say, oh, what did you do? Did you see that? And they play with you. Kids will say, oh, wow, it's fun. And you know what? If they are able to initiate, feel comfortable to initiate, then when they grow up, they're more likely to create something. Because you get used to and you get good praise. Is anybody you come from this kind of family that make you feel comfortable to create, to initiate a new idea? You do. Wow. Give us example.
Like from a young age or from like now?
Huh?
From like when I was little or from
Up from there to now. Any good example like you initiate?
like learning music?
Yeah, therefore right now you are initiate talking to me. Right, that's called initiative. Initiative means I'm okay, I'm not waiting for people. I'm okay to say, hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do this? Okay. Unfortunately, kids may get blamed by don't do this. You are stupid, right? So for example, you push the chair, say choo choo train, and your mother says, stop it. Don't do that chair. You break the chair. Okay? And then you play the paper towel and your father says, stop it. Okay? If you keep getting this message, then kids will start to feel guilty. Okay, then when they grow up, when they want to try something new, they remember that stupid, you cannot do it in the message. So they may just wait for people to say, hey, do you want to do this? And they even have a hard time to say, okay, because they remember the voice from parents. That makes sense? Right? So that is the stage 3. Okay, anybody still remember? What's the important task for the first stage? Called what? Trust, mistrust. What's the second stage? Autonomy versus guilty. The third stage is initiative versus guilty. Okay, no. The second stage is, what do you say? Autonomy and shame, right? And this one is initiative and guilty. Okay, now, what do we do in fourth stage? Where we go? We go to school. You start to your elementary school. Okay, so now what's different between elementary school and preschool? What's different? Yes.
You start learning.
You start to learning. You start to get something called report card. Right? You start to get something called report card. Right? And then, you have some kind of exam. Right? And so, do you remember in that stage when you, Thanksgiving, go to grandparents' house? What's grandparents like to ask that question? What they ask you? What they ask you when they know you're already in school? House school. House school. Okay. So when they ask for house school, what kind of answer they are looking for? How good you do in school? How good you do in school, right? And then if you're doing good, then your parents will be very proud. Say, you know what? She's very right? Oh, you know what? He's very good with this. Okay, then those praise give you confidence. You feel I'm pretty good. I can handle school. Okay. Well, not every kid's able to develop that ability, right? They may have learning problem. Okay. Then maybe when the grandparents ask how's school, then parents may be say, oh, let's not talk about it, right? Let's not talk about it. Or say, well, he or she, well, it's very good in something, but avoid to talk about school. And think about you are in school. You sit there, and the teacher always call on somebody, not you. What the teacher on something always parade. Why they don't call Fang-Mei? Fang-Mei sit there and say, when teacher going to call me? Do you have that feeling? Do you remember that? Right? I remember that. And then they will make you, even they don't need to say, you remember you are not good at something. And they will make kids feel inferiority. And that is this stage. This is the elementary school stage. So they develop competence and inferiority. Either or. Right? So you can see one side is positive, right? Let's go back. Trust. And then what? Autonomy, right? And then what? Initiative, right? And then what? Competence, right? And you may have another side is what? Mistrust. And what? Shame, right? And what? Guilty. And then inferiority, right? And all sometimes they can do this way, right? Do this way, okay? Now, think about if they get to this stage and they're always in this side, okay? Then when they go to the next stage, is in middle school now. Middle school and high school we call adolescence. They may feel, who am I? Right? This is the stage people start to wake up and want to know more about themselves. Okay? And if people, they already build a trust, and they always get the, praise, say good, and they feel comfortable to initiate stuff, and they feel autonomy, all this, they may be more likely to say, I know who am I. I know what I want. They have a good identity. Okay? Otherwise, another side, they never be told you are good. They never be, able to initiate stuff. They always feel guilty. Then in the school, they even not able to do good. Then they kind of like, I'm so confused. I don't even not able to tell you, who am I? Okay, and also, this also the self-identity, okay? And so you think about kids have a, biracial parents. In this stage, they start to confuse. They start to confuse about why I didn't look like my mom or my father. Or I look more like my mom, not my father. Or I look more like my father, my mother. Okay, they may be very confused. Okay, is anybody, are you get over this stage yet? Anybody still in the stage of looking for self-identity? Yeah, possible. This can take a while. Especially when you go to the new place, right? If you are new in college, right? You are new in the city. People don't know you, then you kind of say, who am I? For example, when I knew in America, I don't even able to say out loud my name because I worry if I tell people my name is Fang-Mei, people will say, what? So I use the name called Phyllis. That's from my cousin. She gave to me. I said, okay, that's an English name. I can say it out loud and people are going to know who are you. Unfortunately, my pronunciation in English is not as good as native. So even I say Phyllis, people still think I'm speak Chinese. And I say, what? And I say Phyllis. Oh, Phyllis. So I still have some identity issue, okay? And, so that is, I'm not at stage, but then, it's happened. Okay, so this is stage 5, okay? How many of you pretty much know who you are? Okay, good. Okay, how about you, Abdullah? Is come to America make you confused? More, right? Okay, it's happened, right? Okay, so after this stage, but then again, we didn't say each stage is clear cut, okay? We just say people develop this way, but it's not mean once you get finished, when you get 20 years old birthday, everything's disappeared. No, it still continue, okay? But the main focus in after when you get to as a young adult, identity hopefully already established, and if still growing, okay, they may influence your relationship with others. Right? So if you're really comfortable with who you are, you're more comfortable with interact with other people. Don't you think so? Right? Because you know who you are. So you feel comfortable to share with people who you are, then you will have a better intimacy relationship with others. But if you are confused and you don't even able to tell people, then you rather just stay home by yourself. For example, people say, hey, let's go to the party, and they have a gathering. Say, no, I don't even know how to talk to people. Why I need to go to the party, right? That's why sometimes people put alcohol there in the party, so when people get a little bit drunk, they will feel comfortable to talk, right? Because they don't want to be faced to the truth themselves. Okay, so actually this is pretty much your stage, or the stage going to come to you. It's about relationship, okay? So this stage is takes quite a long time, okay? And again, nowadays is no clear cut. People can have this stage very long. They can be even the whole life. We all need a relationship, either same gender, different gender, with the peers, with adult, with people different age. That give you the time to then build a friendship. Anybody find a friend in Tiffin after you are here? How many you have? How many new friends you got it? A lot. Wow. Through what? Through the roommate? So you got a good roommate. Wow. That's good. Anybody else? Do you get a friend here in Tiffin? How many? Huh? Wow. Medicine.
Yeah, I have a friend here.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, got a friend. Floria, you got a friend here? Wow, you got a friend?
Yeah.
You got a friend? Friend? So when you're a friend, do you more feel like this is home? When you have friend, you feel home. If you don't have friend, if all bunch of stranger, you feel you are in a somewhere strange place. So I'm glad you all have friend, okay? And that is very important. Okay, then if people after this stage, then they go to next stage, is pretty much when you graduate, then you maybe getting married and you start a job, okay? Then you go to see people in middle year. This is pretty much like your parent stage. Okay, so you can see some parents very outgoing. Is your parent go to your game? Okay, do they part of what PDO or something like Parents Association, your school? Do they part of community service or something? Okay, then if the parent like that, They are more like called general activity. General activity. They are important person. They are decision making in their company. They are the organizer for community activity. They are this. If your parent like this, you can say they're more general activity. They are pretty well developed themselves. Okay. Another hand can be stagnation. That kind of like isolation. They don't want to go to associate with other people. They are isolating themselves. And you know what? When I knew in America, I'm kind of like this kind of parent. I told my kids, don't open the door when they do trick and treat because we don't know how to give out the candy. And my kids say, Mom, can we go out? So then I finally out a little bit myself. So it depends because if you don't have a confidence, then you don't know how to go out. And you know what? Parents is a very important bridge between your kids and the community. If the parents say that's hide, then kids is no way to build relationship with the society. So that's very important. Okay? So now, the last stage will be your grandparent stage. Is anybody your grandparents still alive? Okay. What kind of grandparents they are? Are they happy elder, or they are sour? How's your grandparents? They are pretty good. Okay. So they are pretty good. We call they are ego integrity. They are ego integrity. Okay. That means they trust the world. They trust people. They show their wisdoms. Okay? But then, if they don't do good in their life, they are despair. They are angry. They have a lot of hatred. They feel the world is unfair. They say, how can I have life like this? And they're already very old. So then you can see what kind of elder you think you are going to become. How many of you going to be ego and integrity when you become grandparents? Okay, and promise me, do that. Okay. Does anybody have ever seen people like this, despair? And then a lot of you, maybe because anybody you major in psychology? Okay, what's your field? What's your major?
Forensic psychology.
For psychology.
Homeland security.
Huh?
Homeland security.
Oh, Homeland Security. How about you?
Forensic psychology.
Okay, how about you?
National security.
Okay, how about you?
I didn't hear.
Huh?
I didn't hear.
Your major?
Cyber.
Cyber?
Psychology.
Oh, psychology. How about you?
Forensic psych.
Okay, how about you?
Forensic psychology.
Okay, so now your subject, the people you are going to serve, they may be a little bit on the unfortunate side. Okay, so that's your job. That's why they need you. Because it's not mean their unfortunate should be forever. You can help them. You can help them if you find they have a mistrust issue, they have an identity issue, and then that's why your psychology, your forensic comes in. Hopefully, through you help them gain the trust. You help them gain identity. You help them gain initiative. You help them gain confidence. And you can see they are going to start to feel comfortable to interact with other people. They start to able to contribute to the community, right? And then when they get old, they will thank you because you saved their life. Okay, because people around them maybe don't have that ability. So you know what? So when I see people encounter some trouble, I congratulate them. I say congratulations. Why? Why? Why people have trouble? I say congratulations. Why? Because they may be their turning point. If you use the chance to turn, then you go from negative to positive. Right? You go from negative to positive. And of course, they need help. That's why you come to school, to helping people. Okay? So this is the A stage from who? Who said this? Who said psychosocial development? Who? Who? Erikson. Okay? Okay. Then we say actually, even we are follow the stage. Sometimes nowadays, people not exactly follow the same age. Okay? And so it's okay. And they have a term called emerging adulthood, about 18 to 25. Okay? So this actually do that competence to isolation, to the intimacy, right? Identity, all that stage. Okay? So that part is very important there. We have to know people typically have a lot of transition of life. Most women are in the middle life between this, they are this way. Okay, they are good, healthy, productivity here. Okay, I'm going to jump here because this one, it's not hard for you to read yourself. Okay, now I'm going to see about these two, because these two, I just need to explain a little bit. Okay, so in intelligence, okay, now we learn, but also we grow. They have both sides, natural versus neutral, right? You can grow in, we call academically, and you can also grow naturally. Okay, so when people get old, okay, they have two intelligence, okay. Some actually rely on learning, some actually rely on naturally. So that is two. One called fluid intelligence, one called crystallizing intelligence. Okay, now crystallizing intelligence is rely on everything you learn in your life. Okay, so when people get old-timer, they will start to not able to handle their life. Okay, but they may still remember their professional knowledge. Okay, so fluid intelligence is a capacity for deduction, reasoning, and ability for the new information to solve the problem. This one, they may be going down. This part may be going down when people get old. Okay, but crystallizing is, so you need to remember this. This is depend on education. Crystallizing depend on your education. Okay, if you learn more when you were young, you have more knowledge when you get old. Okay, but this part sometimes is out of your control. That part is out of your control. That part of your physical. Okay, so only thing we can control is crystallizing. Okay, make sense? So you know music. When you get old, you still know music. Okay, but this part, you may be not able to get new information. You start to confuse about where am I. Okay, some people, when they get old, they're not even able to tell what day is today. What day is today? Everybody remember what day is today? November 2nd. Today is Monday. Now is morning. So one kind of mental health test for the elder is ask them to about what day is today, and they may have a hard time. They don't remember. Or you may ask them to say 3 days and backwards, or ask them about who bring you to the service. If they're able to say, then they still good in fruit. Okay, but if you ask them math, if they done math and they're still able to tell, and that means they are pretty good with crystallizing intelligence. Okay, everybody good? Everybody good? Okay, so which one? Which one depend on education? Fruit and crystallization intelligence. Which one depend on education? Crystallize. Which one is independent from education? Fruit. Very good. Okay. So I think this talk about old age. Okay. Some people may get some issue about old age, and then we know if we don't use it, you lose it, right? So I think that's good enough for this chapter. Okay? Any questions before we move to personality? Any questions? Okay, so make sure you finish that quiz. Okay, and anybody, I know you already got your grade for discussion, right? Medicine, I think you've done for the discussion about stage, right? And I think Floria is done. You done, right? And I think you done already.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? I think you talk about. I remember
Yeah.
you are there, right? And I think Tari already give you grade. I think you done the discussion 4. You don't remember yourself. Look, I know you more than you. I know you have so many homework. So when you're done, you just move on. You don't go back, right? Okay. So I'm going to start this one and then open the new one.